Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer Stay. This is Coloring Bliss and our weekly live event, and today we are doing Polychromos versus Goldfaber. It's a Faber-Castell showdown. This is part 2 of our weekly live events. We always do 2 parts to these events. The first one is over on Facebook, so you should join us there. Follow us on Facebook. There's links in the video description. This part 2, is here with you on YouTube. There's lots of links in the video description if you want to learn more about Polychromos, if you want to learn more about Goldfaber, if you want to learn more about Coloring Bliss. It's all here for you. If this is the first time you've been here with Coloring Bliss, welcome. We're so glad you're here. We've been playing around a lot with the Faber-Castell products, and one of the requests from all of you was for me to try out the Goldfaber line. It's their student or hobbyist type line of products, kind of their mid-range line, and we wanted to color compare them and see if they color match with the Polychromos. And now we're going to move sort of into the coloring comparing. We're going to talk about pricing. I'm going to show you swatches. We're going to talk about why the prices are different. What did Faber-Castell do to bring down the cost of these pencils versus these pencils? So we got a lot to talk about. Glad you're here with me. Make sure you hit a thumbs up if you like this kind of content. Like I said, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. So we're going to have some fun. We've already done some swatching. I'm going to show you how the swatches turned out. I bought the 24 set, and yes, I wanted to mention we are not sponsored for this video. I bought all these products with my own money. So I'm excited because Polychromos is one of my favorite pencils. Not my most favorite. I am a Prismacolor girl. I love the creamy lay down of the Prismacolors. But what I love about the Polychromos is how they will layer for days. They are such a buttery smooth pencil and almost a translucent nature. So they're really good for mixed media. They're really good for portraitures. If you want to, get lots of layers of interest and depth, Polychromos. Yeah, they are amazing, and they're available open stock. They're available all over the world. This is a company that has been around for a couple hundred years. It's a really amazing company, and the more I'm learning about this company and the way their products interact from line to line, the more I like Faber-Castell.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
This is really cool. We keep having, I don't know how many Faber-Castell dedicated events we've had. We've had a lot. So let me show you some swatches. I think that's the first thing we need to do. So Steve, will you adjust the camera so they can look down on my workspace here? So while we were over on Facebook, we swatched them. This is the Goldfaber column here and here, and this is the corresponding pencils in Polychromos with 2 exceptions. Here I grabbed the wrong Polychromos, so this is the wrong color here, and then I grabbed the right one. And then for some reason, my full set syndrome is really triggering bad. We can't find number 147 in our Polychromos set. I told Steve we need to crawl around on the floor and see if it's fallen underneath my cabinets or something. So this, we grabbed 145 as a substitute because it's a pretty close color match. So take a little look, peruse the results. I'd love for you to comment. What do you think about the color comparison between the Goldfaber line and the Polychromos line? Just give it a little glance and tell me what you think. Here's the whites down here, Polychromos right here, and Goldfaber right here. This was interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Interesting, huh?
I wonder if the more wax content makes for a better white on black.
Yeah. Okay, so that brings up one thing I need to share with all of our YouTube audience. There's a link in the video description that will take you to Faber-Castell and this little document that they brought out back in June or something like that. And it's a little information sheet, about 2 pages long. all about the two lines. And one of the most interesting things I thought that they talked about here was they actually shared a little bit about what the content of the core is. So here it says Polychromos is comprised of vegetable oil, wax, and high quality pigments. I thought that was fascinating. And then over here it says that the Goldfaber is comprised of pigments and wax. So that's really interesting. The other difference is that the Polychromos have a cedar wood and have a 3.8 millimeter core, so a bigger core. And over here on the Goldfaber, we've got a 3.3 millimeter core, and they're using a pine wood. So different wood, smaller core, and a different ingredient grouping inside the core. So we felt that right away as I was coloring. The tip was breaking. Breaking's the wrong word. Breaking makes it sound like it was like breaking, you know. It was more like the tip would break off and then crumbs were happening. It was more like that.
It's like a little more brittle or something.
Yeah, that's a really good word. It feels more brittle. So that was going on, and the crumbs were happening, and I don't like that. But we have to have trade-offs, right? Because we're going from an artist quality line down to a student quality line. Another difference is Polychromos line has light fast ratings for every single pencil. So if that's really important to you, you will need to know that information. Then you want to invest in the Polychromos line because that information isn't available. They just say in their documents, they say high light fastness. That's all they say about the Goldfaber line. So we don't have any information. So if you're an artist and you're going to sell your art, you're better off going with Polychromos because then you can guarantee to that person who purchases your art that it's going to last for a very long time. So that's your big differences as far as the makeup of these tools. Also, a really big difference is Polychromos comes in 120 colors and Goldfaber only has 48 colors. So that would keep the cost down for Faber-Castell as well, just manufacturing fewer pencils. Both are available open stock. And then let's talk prices so you can get an idea. I've got links to both kinds of products if you want to click on those links. They're Amazon affiliate links. So if you do click on them and use those links, it will give Coloring Bliss a little kickback, but it doesn't affect your price at all. So let's see, Faber-Castell Polychromos, roughly when you buy open stock, we're talking open stock prices here, roughly Polychromos as of today, February 2020, an open stock Polychromos pencil is about $2.23 per pencil, and an open stock Goldfaber pencil, Goldfaber, comment below. Would you call it Goldfaber or would you call it Goldfaber? Let's have an argument. Okay, no, let's not argue.
Faber.
Or Goldfaber, Goldfaber. 3 options. Okay, so 223 on the Polychromos side and 125. So almost $1 more per pencil. Basically $1 more per pencil open stock costs for the Polychromos. That's quite a lot. It's almost double the cost to go to a Polychromos. Now in sets, that cost will probably come down per pencil, especially if you buy the 120 set of Polychromos. You'll get the per pencil cost down. But I wanted to compare open stock to open stock. That's usually a better way to look at the costs. Because if you do invest in some Goldfabers, if you do invest in them and you use a lot of them and then you have to replace, say, your favorite color, this really pretty pink that you use all the time, and then you have to replace it, you kind of want to know what that one pencil cost is going to be. Or if you're like me and you lose a blue and your full set syndrome makes you go buy that one blue, you're going to want to know how much that one pencil is going to cost you when you have to replace it. So that's generally what we're talking about in costs. Now you can get the Goldfaber pencils in either 12, 24, 36, or 48 sets, or open stock. And then of course the Polychromos, they have them in 6, 12, 24, 36, 60, 68, and 120 sets. So all over the board. You can get them just all different kinds of configurations. They even had, I think, an anniversary set with old Polychromos packaging for a while, like original Polychromos packaging.
Oh, really?
That you could get.
That's
So
cool.
they do all kinds of fun stuff. Faber-Castell does a lot of really neat stuff. Okay, so that's the lowdown. This is what a Goldfaber pencil looks like right here, in case you've never seen one. I will grab its brother, its sister. What would you call it? Are they brothers or are they sisters? Are pencils boys or are they girls? Okay, we'll call them boys.
So, just so you know, they were bringing up, there is no 147 in Polychromos. So that's why we haven't found it.
Oh. Well, I feel better now. Full set syndrome satisfied. Thank you, who said that.
Had a few people.
Well, thank you. That's interesting. So I wonder if there's any other in the Goldfaber line that don't correspond.
So there, Kelly was pointing out there's a 146 and then there's that 145, right?
Yeah,
That
you
I thought-
found
I
145.
thought it looked a lot like 145.
This one, 145 and 147. So we'd have to grab the 146 and see which one.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. I wonder if they just couldn't get the recipe to match good enough, so they just said, oh, let's just call
Here's
it.
146 if you want to try it.
All right, 146. Yeah, this one's sort of more periwinkly. What's this one called? Sky blue. I would have called it more periwinkly.
Yeah, so 145 probably.
Yeah.
If you're looking to match.
If you're looking to match, I think I would agree with Steve. He's got such a good color eye. You have a good color eye.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, I feel so much better. Thanks, you guys. I was ready to put in an order tomorrow. You got to have that full set. Oh, actually, yeah, next time we traveled somewhere near a Blick, we would have been like, we're going there to buy me that pencil. Okay. Anyway, back to comparing pencils, just so you can see. One thing I'm loving about the Goldfaber is look at that writing on that gray body. It's so easy to read. I hate reading the Polychromos pencils. This gold metallic writing is pretty, but it's not practical. I can't read it. Even Steve was struggling over here. You have to like rotate it and roll it, and oh, I hate it. This one, I wish they would use this kind of writing on this. I know it wouldn't look as classy, but man, oh man, is this much more practical for just quick color grabbing. The other difference here is the Goldfaber pencils don't come with color names. You only get color numbers. So when we were on Facebook, I was asking everybody, does that bother you? Do you not like having, that was a weird way to say that question. Do you dislike having no color names? Is that a deal breaker? Would it stop you from purchasing these pencils because you don't have a color name? Comment below. So what you get is a color number right here, and then it says Goldfaber, Faber-Castell, and you get a color swatch just on the end. And then this is that pine wood we were talking about, and if you scratch it with your fingernail, you can feel that it's just not as hard of a wood. Makes sense. Pine wood is a much softer wood. And then this one is made of cedar wood, and it's painted all the way up and down and has the classy, flashy gold print on it. It is a really beautiful tool. Everybody loves the look of a
it's so pretty.
Polychromos. It's just not practical for quick reading. You know, they traded off practicality for flash, which I appreciate the flash. Don't get me wrong, I love bling, but it makes it really difficult. And then looking at it straight down, you can see, let's see if I can get it to focus. this one is a 3.3 millimeter and a 3.8 millimeter core. So you're getting a lot more pencil here. Now, the other thing we were noticing is this one, it was quite brittle and crumbling. So that means this one is going to just naturally wear down faster because the core crumbles. Where, you know, if you've ever used a Polychromos before, they're amazing. You can like really lean into a Polychromos and they'll stand up to a lot of pressure. So these are, they've earned their reputation. Polychromos are a really good tool. Okay, so enough talking, enough comparing with the physicalities of these two tools, unless there's a question or something I missed.
No, but I did go listen to how do you pronounce in German.
Oh, okay.
It's Faber. Faber.
Faber.
Yes.
Like kind of no R?
That's how they do it. But so you probably Faber-Castell.
Faber. Faber.
But the ah, it's an ah sound.
Is it Castell?
I don't know.
Faber-Castell. Oh, I'm not even gonna. I'm just gonna Americanize it.
Yeah. I don't speak German at all.
We need to go to Germany and hear them say it.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like people come to Utah and say Zion National Park, and it makes me cringe because here in Utah we say Zion. And it's like,
Zion.
You're supposed to say it the way the locals say it. The locals say Zion, you say Zion. So I'm sure it's that way around the whole world. Yeah. Everybody's like, no, don't say it like that. You say it like the locals. So we need to go to Germany just so I pronounce it right.
Yep, you're right.
Another reason to go to Germany. Plus, I want to go to this castle.
Yes.
That one right there.
It would be amazing.
It would be really amazing. Okay, let us color. I want to actually put pencil to paper now. Move everything to the side. I'm going to keep my swatches handy because dun, da, 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 I'm bringing up the quick color picker and we are going to quickly pick some colors. If you haven't seen this lovely tool right here, why haven't you? Because this is amazing. You're going to see how quickly we're going to pick some colors. And this is the coloring page we're going to do. It's already pre-printed on my amazing, awesome favorite color pencil paper here. You can get books printed on color pencil paper, marker paper, watercolor paper, and mixed media paper here at Coloring Bliss. So come and check out our print shop. This is Flower Bliss Volume 1, and I had Steve print this one ages ago on color pencil paper, and I've done various pieces of coloring in here. Tonight I want to work on this one. So we need a quick color scheme that these tools will work with. So keep in mind, you guys, this. Okay. They've got a lot of reds. Maybe we need to go red, orangey. Trying to see what color they're weak in. Greens, they only have like 1-2 good greens. Okay, so maybe something in the red. You think? Is that where they're strongest in that set? Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay. I've got another video coming out. We just filmed it actually today of how to use this quick color picker. I'm so excited for anybody who's already ordered this or thinking of ordering it. Steve's going to be editing that video, but look at all these color schemes. Beautiful. So let's go to, I'm really drawn to one of these colors. Ooh, these two would be really pretty together. 126 and 131. So maybe red, or I don't know. What do you guys think? I need some color inspiration. Ooh, see? Yeah, okay, we're gonna start here. I'm gonna give you guys 2 options and you're gonna vote. So I'm thinking either split complementary 2 or let's do we have a blue green. Okay, let's either do split complementary 2 or split complementary 1. So vote in the chat right now, 1 or 2. It's either 1 or 2 is what we're going to do. So either way, I've got yellow, green, and red. So I'm going to start pulling those colors out right now. So I'm thinking they're going to vote 1 or 2, Steve. So we're either going to have a blue-green or we're going to have a violet with our red and yellow-green. So I'm going to grab 166 as my light and 167 as my dark yellow-green. I think I'm going to be lucky to just get 2 pencils per color here. And red, 126. Steve's going to do his best. You're going to have to be the judge. 131. Okay, so now it's either blue, green, or violet. So Steve's going to be the one that's going to judge and see which one he thinks you guys have picked. I've got the red and the green pencils ready. Now it's either blue, green, or violet. 1 or 2. Which one will it be, Steve? He's counting right now. He's counting. Get your votes in.
It's even.
It's even? That's not fair. Well, you have to judge. I'm not the judger.
Okay, so what are my choices?
Split compound from monthly 1 or split complementary 2.
Okay, 1.
Okay, blue, green. I knew you would pick that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go for... I think 161 is definitely, it's more of a green, blue-green, and we could combine it with this blue-green to get a kind of a mix. I mean, when you've got a set of 24, your options are like, so we got to do what we got, right? 156 and 161 are our 2. 156 and 161 are our combos for blue-green. Okay. So that's how the quick color picker works. See how fast that is? So cool. And that's just, and I just cut out all these wheels. Let me show you. So there's, if you're more the type of person who likes to hold something in your hand and that's how you learn and how you like to work, I show you in the video how to cut out these wheels and use the wheels to find exactly the same color combinations and choose your color schemes that way. Oh, it's so much fun. So come and check out the quick color picker. It's really cool. This is just one version. There's also brand specific. So I have the Polychromos version of this that is amazing with all pre-configured colors. So all these color decisions are all, anyway, all pre-done and everything. So it's like color by number. It's amazing. This is really a cool tool. So, but because we're using these, this color scheme selector, this color picker is perfect because it just has colors and you hold up your pencil and go, yep, that looks about right. And then away you go. Pretty cool. All right, so I'm going to move him out of the way. And
White colorist says, "Ooh, Jan, your hair looks amazing."
Thank you. We're very purple. Probably by next week it will be quite faded, but for now it's really fun. So I'm going to keep these handy because I'll probably need them to add a little depth like the grays and whatever, but for now...
Rebecca says, "I bet that would work for my acrylic painting."
Yeah, and I was thinking you could probably pick outfits. In fact, when I was picking out what I should wear today, I was like, I have purple hair. Should I do a complementary color scheme and wear the complementary color to my purple? But I ended up going more monochromatic color scheme.
You did. Wow, look at that.
So that's my outfit today.
Nice.
Monochromatic. Okay, so we're going to keep these handy. And sorry, Polychromos.
They're going over there.
They're going
no,
behind.
147.
Yeah. You're getting sent to the back row.
Yeah, Rose needs her little purple ponytail.
Yeah, Steve wouldn't let me. I pulled out this one right here. This was Copic V09. I figured was about the same color as my hair, and I was about to color in a streak into Rose's hair, and Steve's like, no! so I stopped.
Katrina and Marilyn love your hair too.
Oh, thank you. It's so much fun. I feel so youthful.
Kara's exciting to hear about the pencils. Glad she got us.
I'm glad you're here too. Oh, by the way, this is the rest of the colors that are available in case you want to see. I'll hold it really still, but a better way to see it would be to go on to Faber-Castell's pitiful website and look around. Good luck. That's all I can say. Good luck, because these charts are really hard. In fact, a better place to see these colors would be dickbook.com and put in Faber-Castell, what are these called? Goldfaber, Faber, and look at their colors. That's maybe even a better place. Anyway. Okay, so I think I'll do some, these flowers in our red. And then the leaves in green. Am I being too literal again? One of these days, maybe that would be a good video. Jennifer attempts to not be literal with her coloring. I can't help it. And then we'll do the black ground in the blue-green.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, and what we're going to do tonight, because it's already 7:20 and I'm already getting tired, is let's at least attempt to finish one flower and a little bit of the background around it so we can kind of get the feel of all of the colors, the whole color scheme, and how this works. I'm not going to try to do the whole thing tonight. So I'm going to go in with the lightest color first. Wow, they do feel light. They, in general, I think it's that pine wood and the smaller core.
Yeah.
They just feel lighter, which isn't bad.
Yeah, like you said, you're paying half the cost.
Well, not quite half, but you know, $1 less per pencil. So that's a lot. I'm trying to decide, because we have just 2 pencils. Sometimes there's a couple ways. Oh, shall I explain why I'm confused? Let's try it both ways and see which way works better. We don't know yet. One way to do this would be to come in with the darkest color and lightly, I'm doing light pressure here. In fact, Steve, maybe we should have you zoom in that main camera, come right down so they can see. One way to do this is with really light pressure and your darkest pencil.
Left a little bit there.
Oh, sorry. Is to come in and kind of establish where your shadows are. And this all depends on how your pencil works. Like Polychromos. We know Polychromos would layer, what do they say, till the cows come home? But I don't know about the Goldfaber. Faber. Oh dear, I need to just stop trying. I don't know if they're going to act like that. So we're going to try, 5 petals this way, and then we'll try the other way. There's multiple ways to do this. Okay, there we go. And now we can come in with our lighter tone and blend it out. So we're not really aiming to get rid of all the white here. When I first started coloring with color pencil, it really bothered me having the white of the paper showing through. I really didn't like that look. And now I kind of like that look in certain situations. So if you're the type of person that really doesn't like the look of the white showing through, there are tricks you can try, like using solvents like an odorless mineral spirits, or Zest It, or baby oil, or petroleum product like Vaseline. All of those, what they do is they break down the fillers and sort of release the pigment down into the texture of the paper, and that washes the color down in, and then the white of the paper will disappear. The other way to do it is to press hard onto the paper, and what that does is, the word is burnish, and basically what happens is it squishes flat the texture of the paper, and that then fills up the texture with all the waxes and squishes it down flat, and that's how the white of the paper then disappears. Those are kind of 2 different techniques. either washing the down in or squishing it down in. But like I said, as I've changed over the years, seeing the white come through doesn't bother me anymore. Another way to do it would be to do a base layer with, say, an alcohol marker. So I would pick a really pale pink, like maybe this shell pinky color here, and color that down into the area first, and then go over it and add the contrast, the shadows, more depth to the color with a pencil. And then that gives you no white of the paper because the alcohol marker took care of it, and then your pencil gives you the detail and the depth. Okay, I'm going back with the darker color now, so this is kind of like step 3.
Robin likes to use a Copic colorless blender on her pencils.
Ah.
She keeps one specifically for pencils.
That's smart, because sometimes the wax of the pencils will muck up the nibs. But you can clean those nibs. Okay, now I'm using more like medium pressure and buffing it out, pushing a little bit more, so I'm filling up the tooth of the paper right here, and then spreading it out more evenly, sort of dispersing it out. So right along the edge, the shadow there, it will be totally full of wax, and then out here the white of the paper is still shining through to give us that highlight. So far these are laying down really nice.
Rebecca was just asking how they're filling on that paper.
Really nice so far. I need to lay the paper flat onto the surface here. Sometimes the multiple layers of paper below will change the way it feels.
They're loving your nails, and we're like, is it green? Is it blue?
So this one and this one is blue. This one is like a multicolor, and then this one is blue with a multicolor like triangles in it. I bought this set back during Halloween, and I love them. I've been holding on to them till I was like, I want to do it when I'm doing something crazy, and I was like, okay, purple hair, crazy nails, it's time. Yeah, they're fun nails. And there's enough in that one set of nails that I will be able to do 2 sets of nails. So you'll see them come up again. Okay, so this is step 3, is to go back and really give the contrast in the shadow. Now, if you feel like that's not enough contrast, not dark enough, this is where you reach for the contrast color, the complementary color. What's the complementary color to our red color? Anybody know complementary color to red?
Lemstar's wondering if you could do an experiment with Gamsol or any other blending solution to see how well it blends.
Sure, we'll definitely do that. Don't let me forget. Okay, now we're going back with the light color again and just adding a little bit more so that the color pops. Not going to fill in all of the texture though, because I'm going to let that white shine through.
Oh yeah, Polly pointed out you should use your rotating design board from Totally Tiffany.
Oh yeah, I could totally do that. Totally.
Totally.
Okay. So did anybody answer what the complementary color to red is?
Green.
Yeah.
Green.
Okay, now one of the colors we have in our color scheme is green. So I'm going to bring that up, and we're going to go for the darkest of the greens. And right in where I want the shadow to be the darkest. Okay, this is where I'm starting to feel the difference between a Polychromos and these Goldfaber. I'm now starting to feel that skating feeling that you can feel on lesser quality pencils. It feels like the pigment, the pencil just doesn't want to lay down anymore. It's like, nope, I don't want to be here. You've already put too much down on this paper. I don't want to layer anymore. Where a Polychromos, at this point, it would be like, sure, bring it on. I'll take more layers. I'm good. That's how Polychromos play. But we're going to force it. we're pushing it, right?
They're vegetable oil.
Yeah. Maybe that's the magic ingredient in the Polychromos is vegetable oil, huh?
Yeah, it must be, because it's
amazing that you can just keep layering till the cows come home.
Yeah.
So now by laying in a little bit of this green, because it's the complementary color, you get this where they sort of neutralize, they become a brown. And it'll deepen that shadow up. But the cool thing is it's not just any old shadow. It's a shadow created from the same green that we're going to use on the leaf. So the shadow feels like it belongs. It's not just a gray or a random brown or black. It's an actual shadow that's in the world of this coloring page. It's like magic. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. Was going dark to light, back to dark, a little bit more light, and then amping up that dark contrast with a complementary color. Okay, so now let's try again, and I'm going to try, let's do this grouping over here with going down with light first. This is kind of like Jennifer's rule of blending thirds, only we're going to do it with 2 pencils. So the way you do Jennifer's rule of blending thirds is to color the whole area with your lightest color first. Okay, so let's color this group out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5.
Yeah, they're saying so pretty.
Thank you. Okay, now we'll use this one. So since it's just Jennifer's, this will be Jennifer's rule of halves.
Yeah.
Because we only have 2 pencils. Okay, then we're going to come up halfway.
I guess you could do your dark green.
Yeah, we could throw in the, well, why not? Let's do it. We'll do Jennifer's rule of thirds with the green. I think we'll do light green. Let's not be that crazy. Okay, so the darker red is going to be our mid-tone. So we come up 2/3 of the way with this red. Okay, just half, like medium to light pressure here. Medium to light pressure, 2/3 of the way up. All the way around. When Rose starts breathing like this, it just makes me want to go to bed. Her snoring breathing is so relaxing. I want like a soundtrack of it. And anytime I can't sleep, I could just turn it on. That mixed with Mishka's purring would be like the perfect sleeping soundtrack. I love it when I turn over in bed and her little soft warm body comes and snuggles up next to you and you're like, oh, and then you start hearing her breathe like that and woof, I'm out to sleep just like that. Okay, Steve wants me to do this as our 3rd color.
Is that too light or?
I'll find out. Yeah, it's too light. Okay, here we go. Okay, I'm starting to feel a little bit of skating. This is going to be
really
risky.
That quick, huh? It must have a lot of wax in it then. Don't you think?
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to tread lightly because we got 1, 2, 3 more layers to go. We got a lot of layers to go here. And we got to wash out this green, mix it in, you know, so the complementary magic can happen. I still haven't memorized the complementary colors. That's one of my 2020 goals, is to memorize the complementary colors. I've got, 9 more months?
Yep.
I'm okay. I got time. I'm more than halfway through the alphabet, relearning my cursive. So I'm doing good there. That was one of my New Year's goals. Okay, so that was the next step. Now you go back to your mid-tone. This is when the pigments and colors all start to mix together. And now you mix it back up to the 2/3 line. Well, it's pretty. Definitely a different look. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
When we were learning about the Albrecht Dürer pencils, one of the things I learned was the order of which you do the pencils really does matter with the Albrecht Dürers. And it got me thinking, I wonder if that's true of other tools, not just watercolor type tools. So this will be a good experiment for that because we're doing it in a very different order. We laid down the light first. Okay, now we're coming back. Last step is with the lightest pencil. This is always my favorite step. It's like a final stir. Bring all the ingredients together here. So we'll go over the entire petal with the lightest pencil. Brings it all together. Light pressure, maybe a touch of medium, but mostly light. Wow. I think the shadow worked better. Oh, good old Jennifer's rule of blending thirds. I've always said it. It's a guaranteed good blend, even if you throw green in. So I love teaching Jennifer's rule of blending thirds. Okay. Which ones do you like better? Could you tell that I did a totally different blend? These 5 petals versus these 5 petals. I don't know if you can tell. I mean, up close I can tell. This shadow is more interesting, has more depth and interest. Let me bring it closer. Ugh. Can you see? Okay, I'm going to hold it really still. And you guys tell me, do you like this blend better? So blend 1 or blend 2 better? And I think it's more in the shadow that you can see the difference. I don't know. I'm curious to see what you guys think. Okay, let's try some blending solutions now and see how it reacts. We can try, I want to try 2 different blending solutions. I want to try like a petroleum product, and I want to try Gamsol. So let's bring up my little bag of blending solutions. This is my petroleum based product, and here's my Gamsol. And then we need a stump. This is a blending stump. And we've got sandpaper to clean the stump if we need to. One more.
Kind of split on which one they like.
Well, that's our garage door, and now Rose needs to go answer it. Just a moment. Come on. Here you go, little lady. Go see. Go see who it is. Okay, and my little breath is slipping now. Okay, here we go. What do you think, Steve? Do you like Jennifer's rule of blending thirds? That's these. It definitely has more wax laid down. Look at the shine that comes off of it. Can you guys see that?
You know, I really like both for different reasons.
Yeah.
I like how vibrant the number 1 is, but I really like the interest of number 2. It's like really interesting.
Yeah. Definitely added more.
It's warmer.
Yeah. It's so interesting. This bowl is, oh, it's gold ink. Okay. All right. Let's start with Gamsol. This is Odorless Mineral Spirits. Health and safety, Steve. Go.
Don't drink it. That's my health and safety warning.
Come on, you can do better than that.
Odorless mineral spirits is toxic. Warning. Do
Warning,
not
warning.
taste it. Don't rub it in your eyes. Don't rub it up your nose. Don't smell it.
Right? You need to be in a ventilated room.
Yeah, be in a ventilated. Really though, seriously, it is toxic. You do need to be in a ventilated room or nice room, keep it away from your pets.
Yeah.
And just be careful. If you're really sensitive to stuff like that, then you may not want to use it.
Yeah. Okay. Good job.
Thanks.
Okay, so for odorless mineral spirits, the idea here is that you want to use light pressure with your pencils because you want to preserve the texture of your paper and let the odorless mineral spirits do the work. So I'm just going to do really light pressure with my pencil. Oh, he was giving her a hug. Okay, there you go.
Did you use the same green on both, Lorraine asked?
I did. Interesting, huh? I almost went for the lighter green, and then Steve said, no, use that darker green. And he was right. I needed the darker green.
Glad Polly thinks I'm funny.
She appreciates your humor. I think you're funny too. I was just down to business, and you're over there talking about noses and stuff. I'm worrying about getting sued and okay.
Well, they won't be drinking it or putting up their nose.
Yeah,
so
that's good. We won't get sued for that. Or if we do, we can say, hey, he told him not to do it.
Okay, more than that. I think I'm funny.
Okay, good. If you like Steve's sense of humor, give us a thumbs up.
Nice.
Okay. And if you want a coloring book printed on this amazing color pencil paper, we also sell like paper samplers so you can try out our different kinds of papers in your own printer at home. The paper we use at the print shop is a little thicker because our printer in the print shop can handle a nice thick paper. Okay, so I have laid down really lightly a wash of our two main red colors here. By the way, I don't know if I told you guys, I'm using 128 and 131. I should be writing all my colors down. 128, that color, and 131, that color, and we've used the green, which I'm going to use again, 167, this color.
Anna Shree asked, how are you able to layer without the wax showing up on the inked parts?
I avoid going up on the black on the illustration. And then again, it seems to be a pretty translucent formulation here. Translucent? Is that the right word? Transparent? Translucent. So it just tends to be working pretty good.
Danny asked, what about using green for the shadows first, then the red on top?
Ooh, we could try that too.
Yeah, that's a really
Maybe
good
we'll
idea.
try that on the next grouping. Okay, this is a blending stump. If you've never seen this before, you can buy these on Amazon, at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, all of them sell them, usually in the drafting area or over by the charcoal pencils. It's basically pressed paper into like a pencil shape. You can also buy something called a tortillon, which is rolled paper into like a cone shape. They both work pretty similar. So I've got the odorless mineral spirits in this little bowl. And what I'm going to do is pick it up with this pressed paper, just like that. It soaks into the end. You can also use a paintbrush for this part. And then you want to work light to dark because this is going to release the pigment. And typically the darker the pencil, the stronger the pigment. And I'm working really lightly. Again, we don't want to damage the tooth of the paper at all. We want to preserve the tooth because we're going to come back with another layer here. So you can see it releases that pigment, washes away the fillers, releases the pigment down into the little valleys and the tooth of the paper. And you almost get a marker look once you do that. It is magic. It was like a game changer when I finally learned this technique years ago. And wow, it is magic. If you've never tried it, you're going to love it. Okay, so we're going to do that to each of these. And like I said, the cool thing about this is it's going to preserve the tooth, washes away all the wax so we can come back with another layer. So if you're working with some really cheap pencils and you're frustrated because you can't layer like you've seen other people layering, then purchasing a little bottle of odorless mineral spirits is going to change your coloring existence. Because now what you do is you come in here like this, you wash away all that wax and leave behind the color, and then you come back and you go again with another layer of color, and you can now darken up, take the contrast up a level. Okay, so I'm going to slide this over and lay this flat. Oh, people always ask if it soaks through the paper. If you use a lot, it can a little bit. It wets the paper a tiny bit. That's one reason I like to use the stumps over a brush, because I can control the amount that goes onto the paper better. Okay, so now what I do is I come back and I add the contrast, the darker parts. So if I come on here now, it feels like nobody's been here, like nobody's colored anything. So I'm going to add our green now, our complementary color.
And Anushri would like to see a colorless blender alcohol marker, if you have one.
Oh, so many things to try, you guys. What time is it? Oh, we're going to run out of time fast. So again, over here we were struggling because we were feeling that slippery skating feeling because we were laying so much wax down. But now we're back to almost bare paper here. Okay, now I'm bringing in the dark color. Oop, not there, over here. So all the white of the paper goes away doing this technique. Okay. Oh, one more. Missed one. And the light. I'm trying to hurry up here so we can try all these other techniques we want to try. Now you could go back and use the odorless mineral spirits, activate it again, and go again, another set of layers. When you watch professional artists, when they use odorless mineral spirits, that's what they'll do. They'll layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer, and the odorless mineral spirits lets them do that. Okay, so these 5 petals are going to look very different because we won't have any white of paper showing through. Oh, I keep going over to that petal. Okay, so there's odorless mineral spirits. I didn't get a perfect blend here because I was hurrying. If I was to go back, I would try to feather out that mid-tone a little bit more here. Try to smooth it out a little bit more. Like so. Thusly. Thusly. I think we should all speak Old English for a day. That would be fun. There, that's a little better. Okay, what do we think?
Look at it in person.
See how all the white is gone?
Yeah.
I need to buff that out a little bit more. Okay. All right, you guys let me know what you think. All right. Let's try a little aquaphor.
Rain Chains for Less asked, do you use mineral spirits with ink tints?
Yes. Oh, water is probably better. Try it. See what it does. But it's meant to be broken down, the fillers and everything to be broken down with water. So I don't know if it needs it. I've never, I think I tried it once, but I don't remember if I was like, oh, this is a waste.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
Okay. So this is a petroleum-based product here. Basically, it's like a Vaseline. It's my preferred brand is Aquaphor. We live in Utah. It's a desert, so this is what our family uses for really dry, chapped skin. What I usually do is put a small dab of it on my thumb, like that, on my non-dominant hand. And then you can go in. Let's see, someone wanted to see green first. Is that what we wanted to do? Let's try that. Okay, so we're going to go in right over here, and you can dip straight into it to pick it up. And what happens is the Vaseline or the petroleum product is going to break down the fillers, and again it kind of becomes almost a paint. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Nancy asked, how do you know when to use Gamsol?
I use it when I don't want any white to show and when I know I'm going to be doing a lot of layers. That's when I reach for my Gamsol. So, you know, using this kind of product is a totally different experience. Like I said, it's more like a painterly feeling. You can see how thick it's going down. This is really fun. If you haven't tried this, the benefit of using a petroleum-based product is that it is non-toxic. You can take a little bottle of this with you in your kit, in your purse, in your bag, and you can do this in a doctor's office. And if the doctor calls you, you just rub this in and go into the doctor, and you don't have all these weird things to clean up that are toxic, right? So doing it this way is great. You don't have to push. I'm doing like almost no pressure at all here. And I'm getting huge color payoff with coloring this way. So if you have any hand pain and you don't like coloring with color pencils because of your hand pain, then try your color pencils with a little bit of baby oil, or with this kind of a product. I don't like using baby oil because it has a really strong smell and it's more difficult to work with because it's so liquidy, but this stays right on my hand where I want it and I can work with it really easy. So yeah, this is going to be a little thicker. It takes longer to dry because it's petroleum, you know. And then make sure you clean off the tips just like this or onto a paper towel. That's how I do it. I just wipe it off right onto my hand if I'm at the doctor's office. These are all non-toxic, except for the Holbeins. Probably shouldn't do this with Holbeins, you guys. They have lead in them, huh? Yeah. Don't do this, what I'm showing you with Holbeins. Or something in them that isn't approved. Yeah. Okay, now we're coming in with the red. Whoa, that pigment is happy. Let me get out of the way so Steve can do the other. Well, I've often thought this could make some good emergency lipstick. But I don't think you're supposed to do that. So
will any Vaseline work?
Yeah. Yeah, Aquaphor is really expensive, you guys, so I've bought like the Vaseline for your lips, like at the dollar store, you know, and I keep that in one of my emergency art kits. Wow, this is some serious pigment, you guys. Trying to tread lightly, but it doesn't want to. It's like, woohoo, I'm free. Wow, there's a lot on that tip. So if you have a softer cord pencil like Prismacolor, when the Vaseline and stuff hits those, it can really get mushy. So sometimes with the Prismacolors, what I do is lay the pencil down first really softly, and then I use my colorless blender pencil, touch that into the Vaseline and smear it around that way, because then you're not exposing the tips straight to the Vaseline. You could try that.
So could you use petroleum jelly with a blending stump and the Holbeins?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or put your dab of stuff not on your skin.
Yeah.
I think you just wouldn't want the Holbein pigment on your skin like this. Okay, now we'll go in with our third color, the light pink. And blend it all out.
according to Robin, Holbeins only have 3 that have toxic properties. And when they release them, of course, they'll be non-toxic. So.
That's good to know. Yeah, when they come into the U.S., they're supposed to be all good. I wonder which colors. They're probably the most beautiful ones, right?
Probably. Cadmium or something.
Yeah.
Cadmium yellow. Does it hurt your pencils?
If you leave it on the tip, it will continue to mushify the tip. Yeah. But it hurt the pencils? No. So just remember to wipe them off and you'll be fine. They're your pencils. You get to use them however you want. And yes, I have done this in a doctor's office. I've done it at church too.
Newlywed color assessed. When doing this type of technique, do the pencils sharpen like normal after the tips re-dry?
Yep. Okay, there's 4 petals done with the petroleum jelly. Okay, now I'm going to wipe it off. Okay, and then you can just rub that in and see the color goes away. You don't see it. And you're all hydrated and no desert effects.
Paula's wondering why you prefer Prismas over polys.
Prismacolors, I love their real strong pigment and how creamy, and when you every stroke of color just bam with color. They're just so delicious. They just but they don't layer like a Polychromos. So it's a different situation. If I want to layer and get the translucenty but still beautiful colors, I go for Polychromos. But if I want just
like if you're doing like skin tones or something like that,
yeah,
you know, where you really have to layer it up.
Where you have to really tread lightly and build those layers carefully and quietly, and you want that little freckle to be there but not be like freckle, then Polychromos are like the thing. But with Prismacolors, you know, you're doing like a leaf and you want it to practically glow, or you're coloring a sapphire and you want it to just, the Prismacolors are amazing. Yes. Okay, let me hold this up and you can see the difference. I'll even move it in the light and a little bit here, there. Okay, so these 4 right here are the Aquaphor. Oh, let me show you. Here, I'll use a pencil. These 4 right here are the Petroleum. These ones
with the green down first, right?
Yeah, we did green first.
Yeah, it kind of covers it up a little more, I think.
Yeah, these ones over here we did dark to light. These ones were Jennifer's Rule of Blending Thirds, and these ones were Odorless Mineral Spirits. If you just looked at it, would you know we've done all these different... Pretty cool. Okay, so we've got a few more petals here. What was another technique? Oh, someone wanted to see an alcohol marker. I'm trying to think if I have one that I want to sacrifice. Oh, I gotta rub this in. Okay. Let's see here. I think this is the one. Now I can't... These Prismacolors are like... hard to open. Yeah, this is the one that, okay. And I think this is the one, the nib that we cleaned during that video here on YouTube. Okay, so let's see if we can make it work. I am not super experienced with blending with alcohol markers, so wish me luck, everybody. Wish me luck. Okay, make sure I've got the right 3 colors. Where's my color swatch? 167, yep, okay.
Kay's asked, what's your favorite budget-friendly pencils?
Oh, I don't know. There's so many that are right in the middle that are good. There's just so many. I'll have to think about that. Let me ponder that question. You know, because Prismacolor could almost be called a budget-friendly now.
Yeah, they've really come down in price.
Yeah. So I guess my question would be, what would you deem as budget-friendly? I'm going to try green first again. We're going to just do a light layer of all the colors and then hit it with the alcohol marker and see what happens here. Was there another request from something else, or have I done all the blending methods now? This turned into a blending experiment. Okay, now we'll bring in the darker red. Good, I'm still in the shot. Okay. She's starting to snore again. That heavenly sound. And the lighter color now, just sort of wash over the whole thing with our lighter color. Have they had any tips for me of how to do the alcohol marker? Okay, here we go. Alcohol marker. Wish me luck. Maybe I will try the nubbin side. Light to dark. I'm going to go with my instinct here. Start with the light side. Make sure I'm in the shot. Okay, here we go. Oh yeah, that's working good. Breaking down really nice. Very different. So remember what we learned when we had that video about cleaning your alcohol markers. To clean the tip of this when you're done to get that wax buildup off, if there is any buildup, and to use actual colorless blender fluid to clean the tips.
The nursery says you layer a bit before applying the marker.
Okay, I did that.
Bev says yeah, from light to dark area.
Okay, I'm on the right track. I rotated the tip a little bit to a fresh spot so I wouldn't contaminate the colors. Okay, that worked pretty good. Let's go back and add a little bit more contrast. I'm going to clean off the tip now till it runs clear. Okay. I'm going to bring in the darkest red. I need to sit up straight. Relax the shoulders, Jennifer. Okay. We made it all the way around these flowers, except for the center, which I was going to color a little bit differently, but we're running out of time. Okay, so these petals right here were done with the alcohol marker. It went fast. That was fast.
Yeah. And I wonder if you had layered a little more like they were saying before, instead of doing the light layers, you know?
Yeah, laid more pigment down.
Yeah, laid more pigment.
Yeah, and all of these techniques change depending on the brand of pencil you use, because like if you're using a Crazy Art, a really cheap brand, they have really low amount of pigment, a really high amount of filler. So when you do these techniques, you get less payoff. And then if you go to a high brand like a Polychromos or a Prismacolor, you get a big payoff because it's releasing a large amount of pigment for every stroke, for every technique you try. So when you get into a mid-range brand like this, you get a medium payoff, if that makes sense. So it's interesting to see what kind of payoff you get for each technique and each methodology we follow here. Okay, let's do the green leaf really quick here. I'm just going to get a little color down. I wanted to show you how our color scheme comes together real quick. I might use Odorless Mineral Spirits on this one. So we'll just do light pressure to lay down a nice wash of the green. We're going to do the opposite of what we did on our flower. So we're going to do light green And then kind of follow the speckles, the dots. What are the dots called when you do dots?
Stippling.
Stippling. Follow the stipples as our shadow. So that's our darker green. And then we're going to use the dark red as our shadow to help pop the shadow. Our complementary color. Oh, see, it's skating. It doesn't want it. So let's hit it with the, wash that wax away and then come in with it. Oh, light first, Jennifer, light first. Activate the light, wash it down in. There, good enough. And now activate the dark, blend it around. Okay, now it should accept the red. Yep. Welcome to the party, red. Again, it's so cool doing the complementary color as the shadow because it feels like it's in the same, like the light came through and casted a red shadow. So cool. A little bit more of our dark green. So when we hit it with the odorless mineral spirits, it'll release a little bit more depth of color. So, do we have a favorite technique that we showed tonight? And what do you think? Do you think these Goldfaber pencils are something you might try buying? I'm curious to know. Or do you think you would go straight to the Polychromos? I'm going to give you my feeling at the end of this, once I've added a little bit of the blue-green in. Look at that.
That's pretty.
Pull it out just a little bit more. I'd probably add a little bit more shadowing right in here to make it look like there's an overlap right in here. You know, a little more finessing that can happen here, but you get the idea. Let's add a little bit of the blue-green around the edges here. We've got these two blue-greens. Oh, let me write the other colors down that we've used now. We've used that one, which is 166. And now we've got these two, which one blue-green leans blue and one blue-green leans kind of green, so...
I know she likes the Petroleum. It has such a cartoony effect.
It does. Okay, let's go sort of really light-handed, kind of a watercolor washy feeling here. We're just going to wash out like this.
Newlywed colorist says, nope, I just bought Super Colors, Luminance, and Polys. My husband would take my bank card.
Yeah, those are nice. You got some fun ones.
And he thinks they're a great alternative to the Polychromos. Mm-hmm. Angela bought them a while ago. Should be here tomorrow.
Ooh, exciting.
Vera still loves the Prismacolors all the way.
Yeah, I'm not a Goldfaber girl. I think I'm still a Prismacolor girl. I'm getting all these names mixed up. It's cool though that the color, the matching, they match the Polychromos, which means they're going to match the Albrecht Dürer. So if you want to get into the matching of the Albrecht Dürer to the Goldfaber, you could do that. Now I think there's also in this line of the, what do they call them? What's this line called? I wrote the phrase down right here. This creative studio line of Faber-Castell that is part of the Goldfaber. I think there's a water-soluble line in the Goldfaber. Right. So that's something we haven't looked at yet.
Yeah. It seems like it could be a good way to, like you said, for a relatively inexpensive cost, get into some colored pencils and some watercolor pencils that have similar colors.
Yeah,
and
the color match, and you can try some of those techniques that we've been demonstrating over the last couple weeks. Okay, now I'm bringing in the 161 as my dark.
like Annie pointed out, they also match their pastel pencil line.
Yeah, that's so cool that Faber-Castell does that. Okay, I'm just going to do a few little like surprises of this color, like boing! Did we buy some of the Goldfaber water soluble ones for our battle of the water soluble pencils that's coming up? Do you remember if that's part of the battle?
I don't.
If you go over on that black desk back there is the list of all the water soluble pencils we have brought into the studio. I can't remember if that was one of the ones we bought. Okay. Oh, we did.
Yep, the Goldfaber aquas.
Awesome. Oh, I'm excited. All right. Ba-bing, ba-bing. That's the sound of it. Okay, if you want to clean off, I need to clean off one of these. We'll do this green end here. So you hold this. Let's see, you want to do that other camera, Steve? If I can get it in the shot. You hold it at an angle like that so that you maintain that pencil-like tip. So you don't clean it like this. You clean it at an angle like that, and you just rub it on this sandpaper. And this sandpaper you can pick up in the drafting aisle of your art stores, and it cleans it off. Remember, the dust that's going to come off of here is impregnated. How's that for a fancy word? Impregnated with odorless mineral spirits, so don't let this dust go everywhere.
Polly says, I love both my Prismacolor and Polychromos. Depends on what I'm doing. Lorraine has the Polychromos, so won't be getting Goldfaber, but also prefers Prismacolors.
Okay, I'm going to start
Tika
here.
Finds the Polychromos too expensive, and the Goldfabers I didn't like. It broke when you first tried them.
Yeah.
Tika likes the one Shui Brunfutter. Thinks it doesn't break as much and are an oil-based pencil.
Very cool.
Ashley asked, you color as a hobby or for a job?
My job is Coloring Bliss. This is my job. You're looking at it. So I am very blessed that this is my job. So I draw coloring pages and make tutorials and review coloring supplies. I do crazy art tests so that you guys can learn from my experiences and my mistakes. And yeah.
Holly asked, are you going to use the water-soluble crayons as well? For the battle, no.
Oh, for the battle, no. It's just going to be pencils. I had to find some sort of line limit of tools.
Nancy asks, when do you color the background, first or last?
It depends. It depends on the tools I'm using, the effect I want to do on the background, the mood I'm in, if I've planned it out or not. Sometimes the background comes last because I'm trying to hide mistakes I've made. We just finished an awesome 4-part workshop on backgrounds over with the Bliss Partners. Come and check out the Bliss Partners. It's a level on our memberships over at coloringbliss.com. It's just $25 a month, and you get access to all of our archived workshops. I think we've got over a year's worth of workshops now, plus worksheets. You get over 500 coloring pages. You get access to that color scheme selector that you just saw me use earlier tonight. Plus, you get weekly new workshops. And we just finished a 4-part workshop series on backgrounds where we talked about things like, when do you do the background? How do you make it cohesive? What kind of supplies do you use? Oh, it was a really fun series. And then now in March, we're starting a new series all about blending. This kind of thing that we just talked about tonight, only we're going to go even more in depth. We're going to use markers. We're going to use gel pens. We're going to use a whole bunch of stuff. It's going to be so much fun. So come join us with the Bliss partners and get your blend on. It's going to be lots of fun.
Danny says, I love how the two blue-greens are blending with the Gamsol.
It's working out really well. Kind of getting a nice, the best of both worlds. Both the blue-green and the green blue-green. That was really confusing. And it's kind of this watercolory effect. I love it when you can take one tool, color pencil, and get lots of different effects out of it. It makes you feel like your investment was that much more worthwhile. Okay, so like I said, odorless mineral spirits was a game changer for me when I started learning about it and saw that you can do this kind of thing. The poor center of that flower. But there you can see the whole color scheme that we selected. You guys helped me pick this color scheme, how it came together. We really put these Faber-Castell Goldfaber pencils through their paces tonight. We tried lots of different blending methods. We swatched them, we color matched them, we talked prices, we talked about their core sizes, all kinds of stuff. So I think we can confidently say that this really is a good student hobbyist line. Now, would I recommend them? Things I don't like about them. They only have a limited number of colors. What was it? 48 colors in the line. That's pretty limiting. With color pencils, I do think more colors is better. Especially when you're like me and you like to have a light, medium, and dark of every color you're working with, because that helps you get these blends that I was demonstrating. Although you saw tonight, we were working mainly with 2 colors of each color, and we were getting beautiful blends, especially when we popped in that complementary color. So having just 2 colors, you can get away with it. But if you pop in that 3rd color, oh boy, your blends just take a step up. That's why all of our color schemes that we teach you about, we have all those brand specific tritones. They're all based off of 3 colors, because I just think it makes your coloring look that much more delicious and that much more professional. So that's one thing that I'm a little on the fence about. Wish they had more colors. Wish they would take it up to the 120. There are other brands out there that you can get in this same price range and less expensive, and you get way more colors. So that's a downer. I'm trying to think if there's any other limitations. They were pretty crumbly and the tips were all breaking. I do want to sharpen one and see if it breaks again. Which one needs sharpening? We probably colored with a red the most. Yeah, let's do this guy right here. We'll sharpen him with my pretty little comb. Remember, hold the pencil still, move the sharpener around the pencil. I love this new sharpener. Look at the little shavings roll around, all happy. Love it. Okay, we're going to get it really sharp. And we know that little tip will break. I mean, that's inevitable, right? Oh, look at that. That's a sharp pencil. Okay, but my question now is, will it pop? And then will it keep popping? Okay, we know it's going to pop. Yep. Okay, now as I color, this is medium. That's not bad. Okay. All right. So it is a problem, but not a deal breaker. Yeah. So they're decent. They seem, a good mid-range pencil. But I wish they had more colors. But they are available open stock, and that's not true of all pencils in this price range.
In fact, most pencils in that price range are not available open stock.
And that's a huge positive, because, you know, if you really colored a lot with this pretty little pink one and then you ran out, you don't have to buy an entire set to replace one pencil. You can just buy the one.
Yeah.
That's a huge plus. And you've got the backing of Faber-Castell with the whole system and everything. So that's pretty cool. So that's pretty neat. All right. So I think that's tonight, what we're going to talk about tonight. So thank you for joining us. Remember to come visit Coloring Bliss and check out the quick color picker if you liked how that system worked. Check out the partner program if you want to learn more about backdrops and or backgrounds. And if you want to join us next month as we start into our blending series of workshops. And if you'd like to pick up a coloring book printed on our beautiful color pencil paper or our watercolor paper or our marker paper, make sure you come and check out our print shop that's also at coloringbliss.com. So thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Check out the links in the video, and I hope you all have a wonderful, colorful, blissful night. Bye-bye everyone.